So early this week I got a call, and the lady whom I spoke with, I think last month at her yard sale, she said I left my name and number with her, and she didn't indicate about anything about old games or anything, but I got a phone call from her Tuesday, I think, and she said that she found some games, and she said I could just have them. So she said, was like, would you want them? And I was like, yeah. So I met her in a parking lot, and she said she was just going to drop them off at Goodwill, but thought of me. So it pays to leave your number sometimes. Most of them Nintendo, one Sega Genesis, Sonic and Knuckles. She said it was her husband's when he was growing up, but yeah. So Sonic and Knuckles, our friend Super Mario Duck Hunt, Tecmo Bowl, Super C, which is definitely interesting. I have obviously, well, maybe I don't know if I ever told you. I have Contra 1, and I think this is the game Contra 2 basically. So pretty much the shittiest Turtles game ever. Actually, when I was introduced to this game through the PC, which I whatever. Might like to see it. Who knows? I'm surprised this has survived this long, but this is my copy of the game for my old IBM, and even includes its manual in here with its cool way of getting the passwords. Like it would ask you when you boot up the game, enter this column, this row, and you get a number. Anyways, and then that allows you to continue playing the game. It was an early copyright prevention thing, but this is mine. I've had this since I was like 5 or something like that. Yeah, this was I got as far as basically this one sewer in a part where you're driving around the party wagon, and there's like this impossible jump. I actually only beat this game recently, like a year or so ago, because there was some code where I could pass through a building. It was the only way I could get past that part. But anyways, I hate this game. So, and then Commando, which I didn't really know about other than the arcade game, so this one's cool. And of course the shittiest Zelda game, yes, the shittiest one. But they got better after this. Come on guys, be honest with me. Did they actually tell you, give you good hints on where to find stuff in this game? Later on, if there's a wall that can break, they put cracks in it. But in this game, no. If there's a bush that needs to be burned, it might stand out a little. I mean, this was a very good game, but they learned a bunch and applied it to the sequels. So, to me, I'm not a big fan of the first Zelda. And this actually is in really sharp condition. Like, normally you find these and they're like, that gold paint is just rubbed off, but yeah. So, like I was saying, yard sales were kind of a bust. Actually, it was going to some around in the other town, which is about 10-12 miles away. And I found that this lady was selling brand new, sealed Star Wars DVDs, and I wasn't that interested in them. I didn't even ask for the price. I took note of them. This will come back into the store later on. But anyways, after I left that sale, I asked if there were any other sales in the area, and I ended up going to this yard sale, and the lady said she didn't have any games, but I think she said it was her husband or her uncle or her brother, somebody she knows, used to work for Sega, and then through bunches of moves, he keeps on carrying bunches of boxes of these games. She said, leave me your name and number. He definitely needs to sell this stuff. So I was like, hells yeah. So Sega, I think, used to be in San Francisco, so this guy moved quite a bit all over California, yet where where I am. Anyways, back to the Star Wars DVDs. After I went to that yard sale, went to the thrift stores, and it pays to have some sort of rapport with the staff. There was a guy there who knows I like video games, and he said that he just got like a box of Sega Dreamcast games in, and said, would you want to, take a look? And I said, hells yeah. So he brought them out and ended up having like a bunch of DS and Dreamcast games, and actually PC. Hold on, I'm going to note. I found these guys in the store as well. The store was having like a half price day, but I ended up paying nothing. Well, I ended up paying something for these. Dreamcasts, Resident Evil 3, Dreamcast, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Dreamcast, you can see the symbol, it's Dreamcast, The Last Blade 2, Zookeeper on the DS, which is great because I was playing this game, I played this game a long time ago, a ROM of it, and the same goes for this one. It's funny because last week I got that other puzzle game, and it's just funny how like I've been getting these games that I've had only like the ROMs of to play for a while, and now it's great to actually have the real thing. So everything, all these are really good condition and complete. Same thing goes for Soul Reaver. Had this game as just a burnt disc, and now I have the game. Heavy Metal, Geomatrix, a blank receipt. I don't have it. I didn't pay anything for these. Another game I had burnt, Machina X, and now the funny thing is, a lot of these games which I have burnt, I had the case of mail for, because back in the day I used to just go into Funkoland and ask them if I could have these games, and then I burned the disc and then could play them on my Dreamcast and Shenmue. So like I said, I didn't pay anything for these, and the reason is because I was talking to the guy, and he said that he was interested in those Star Wars DVDs, and he said, would you be able to go back and pick them up, because he couldn't get off work. Everything was like half price. So anyways, it would have been around $12-13. So I said, sure, I'll go back to the sale. I went back to the sale, and they were already closing up shop, and I asked if they could bring out those DVDs again, because I gave them the whole spiel. Ended up paying $10, which isn't a bad deal. And if I bought the other stuff, I would have gotten it for, like I said, $12-13. So I ended up saving $2-3. So anyways, the moral of the story is make friends with some of the people behind the counters at these thrift stores, because they'll look out for stuff for you. Now, early today I saw a sale that was 10-12 miles away from me in the town over, and it said that they had PlayStation, Sega. Started at 8, so I showed up bright and early at 8. It was pretty cold out today, surprising, but yeah, there was this giant bag of games. PlayStation 2 stuff was in there, Nintendo was in there, Sega Genesis. Anyways, what did I find? Genesis 6-pack, Ooze, Street Rage 2, and Spider-Man and Venom Separation Anxiety. I remember getting this for Christmas one year. Based on the comic Crash Bandicoot 2. All these beautiful Nintendo hard cases. Contra, Mario 3, and Triple Score. Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, and Track Meet. So these are nice to have, because I like to put my more high value cartridges in here, stuff beyond maybe $20. I think maybe the most expensive game I have is that Final Fight But anyway, I like to put them in here. It's an extra layer of protection. And so what did he say? So basically, she said it was her son's, and she had to wake him up, and I was expecting this kid to like charge me an arm and a leg, but he basically said, you know, $4 for all that. Now, I could have easily said, you know, would you take 2? Would you take 3? I'm sure he would have taken 2, or maybe he probably would have taken 3. Okay. But the logic here is, yeah, you save $1 or something, but I left him my name and number if he found more stuff. And I wanted to take that offer. It was a great offer for those games. If he finds more, and he knows that I'm going to pay whatever he says, then there's more guarantee that he's going to call me back when he finds the stuff. Either way, it ended up being a pretty darn good score. Really excited to try out the ooze. I think this was the last game by the people who did Sonic 2, Comic Zone. It was like a North American branch, USA branch of Sega back in the day, who did all this really cool stuff with the Genesis called Sega Technical Institute or something like that. Oh yeah. Maybe you wonder what this box is back here. I'll give you a look. Alright. So, in there, I don't know if I should, it's UV light. There's a black light, and there's the Nintendo controller. I'm gonna take it away because I don't know how it's gonna. You know how like the old Nintendo products, they have this yellowing that goes on with the plastics. They turn a nasty orange or yellowish color. There's a solution that you can make. I'll give you a link to the information if you want in the description. But you basically paint that on your plastics and apply UV light or put them out in the daylight, and it will basically reverse the color change, and you'll have a nice clean gray Nintendo. And that's a Nintendo controller, but there's a little bit on my Super Nintendo in the front, you know, the controller ports, so I think I may do it with that if it's successful. But it's better with sunlight, but when I saw the black light in the thrift store, I thought that was a heck of a good deal. And you know, I built that box with all the aluminum foil so that it would maximize the coverage of the surface area, so you know, reflect all the different angles. So yeah, I thought I had a pretty good week, and hope you guys did too. So get out there and go hunting.